What is going on today, guys? All right, quick little video to answer a question I've been asked many times in 10 years on YouTube. And that is, what kind of gun should you get for your child's first gun, for your kid's first gun, whatever age that is, whatever age it is that you personally know your child is responsible enough to take to the range and use their own firearm. What's the best first gun? And obviously, my opinion is my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt, and you know your kid better than I do, obviously. And personal preference is a big part of this. But I just wanted to show you guys what I think would make a good first, firearm for a kid and why, okay? And I thought it was appropriate because this is a gun I just bought here not too long ago for my daughter's 11th birthday. This is her first gun. This is what I picked out. She's been asking me to get a gun here for about the last 3 years, and she's finally hit that point where I think she's ready to have her own firearm. Now, obviously, I'm not going to leave this in her room. This is going to be in my safe with everything else, and then we'll pull it out whenever we go to the range or go plinking or whatever else, right? But I thought she was finally old enough to have her own gun, and I raised her, taught her to be respectful of guns, to be responsible around guns, the rules of firearm safety, all that kind of good stuff. So she's got to that point where, she gets her own gun. And I wanted to kind of go over this gun and show you why I think something like this is ideal when it comes to a kid's first gun. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. First off, what we got here is we got a Savage Mark II in .22 caliber. Now, I think .22 is a great caliber for a first gun, especially in long gun form, because you don't want kids to get scared of guns, okay? I don't want my kids to be scared of guns. I want them to respect guns. Again, like I said, I want them to be responsible around guns. I want them to know the rules of safety when it comes to guns, but I don't want them to be scared of guns. So .22 is a great caliber for that, just all around. Also, .410 shotgun would be good. When it comes to any kind of long gun, a lot of the calibers that even .223 might be a good caliber depending on the kid's size and age and that kind of thing. Something that doesn't have a lot of recoil. You don't want them to be scared of the gun. The other thing is the fact that this is a long gun itself. I think this should be obvious, but look, handguns just are not for kids as far as a first gun, as far as I'm concerned. For all the many reasons why, as an adult, as somebody whose brain is fully functioned, okay, handguns are great, i.e. they can be concealed very easily, taken many different places, they can always be there when you need it, they're great for self-defense. Those things can also be issues when it comes to kids. Do you really want your kid having a gun that they can sneak around with? Kids sometimes are young and dumb and impressionable and do stupid stuff sometimes. This is a very intentional gun. You're probably not going to be sneaking around with something like this. Your kid's not going to get away with walking from one side of the house to the other with this and getting past you and you not knowing they have this. Okay, that's kind of why I think it's obvious when it comes to having a long gun as kind of an intentional safety, right? Now, a lot of people say, well, what about a cricket? And crickets are great. They're small. They're lightweight. I admit my daughter even had some issues lugging this thing around because it's very front heavy for her. She's 11. And so I put a bipod on here for her so she can sit at the bench or go prone or do whatever and practice with her gun because it is a little heavy for her. But there's one thing about the crickets that I just don't like. I don't like that you have to hand load each round. I do not think that adds anything to the gun. That is, in my opinion, it is an extra step that is unnecessary and adds no safety to the overall use of the firearm. Speaking of overall safety or use of the gun, bolt action, lever action, pump action, I think that's a little safer than semi-auto. You get a kid out there, they get excited, they start shooting, maybe they're not paying attention. It's a lot harder to just pop off a bunch of rounds in a row when you've got to work a bolt or a lever or a pump between each round. I think that does add a legitimate level of safety that you might want with a kid. And that's why I chose something that's bolt action. So those are just kind of some of the features that I think are important, and why if somebody says to me today, well, my son, my daughter, or whatever, I'm looking at getting them their first gun, what should I get them? I'm going to recommend something like this. I'm going to recommend something that has a manual of arms that is intentional, right? It's, again, bolt action, pump action, lever action, whatever it may be. I'm going to recommend something in a smaller caliber that's not going to be something that might startle them or scare them in some way, because you don't want your kid to be scared of the gun. You want them to be responsible and respect the gun, but not be scared of it. You want to go with a long gun. These are just some of the things, some of the aspects of why I would choose something like this. I also like the idea that this is magazine fed. And again, whether it's lever action, pump action, whatever, you got a tube fed magazine, that's fine. I don't like the idea of individually hand loading rounds, you know? Just very, very basic, simple stuff that I think add up to make a good firearm for your kid as their kind of first outing into the world of owning their own gun. So there you go. That's it, man. There's the Savage Mark II. That's the reason why I recommend stuff like this. I think it makes sense. But you know, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What was your first gun? How old were you when you got your first gun? The reasons why I picked something like this make sense to you? Let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, that's it, man. We're gonna get out of here. We'll see you guys later. Take it easy, and later.